Hello, my friends. What day is today? Tuesday. Happy Tuesday, friends. Let me make sure we're in the right place. It is the right time. All right, here we go. So I may have made a grave error. I had spicy salsa and soda, just like 3 sips of soda. I had some of Nate's for dinner, and now I'm like, oh, I probably shouldn't do that before I go live. Also, I had cilantro lime rice, so I was like trying to make sure I don't have anything in my teeth either. So not my best choice for dinner today, but it's all good, right? We're amongst friends, so it'll be fine. So I was hoping to have a couple of different cards done for you in advance, but I literally have been cutting out little birds all afternoon. So, and actually I'm missing one. Where'd the other bird go? Oh dear. Got a bird on the loose. He'll show up somewhere. But yeah, so I didn't really have as much time. So this is going to be a Thursday throwdown in true fashion, like usual, right? Where we're going to create stuff on the fly. So I'm using a suite that I had to, oh, I found the bird. Here he is. Found him. I'm using a suite that I had to have from the mini catalog, the January through April mini catalog, and I haven't really used it much yet. So I thought we would play with that a little bit. So let's go ahead and turn the camera down and we'll get started because my hair is a little crazy, so we don't need to look at that. All right, let's see. So this suite collection, it's not actually available to order in its full capacity right now because the embellishments are out of stock at the moment, but you can order everything else. And I think the piece de resistance with this suite is really the paper. So I'm looking at, I pulled all the cardstock. I'm looking at the Nature Walk suite. And I have the bundle and I have not used it. I have the gems and I have not used it. But like I said, those are not orderable right now. And then I have this stuff too, and I have not used that either. So I thought maybe we would play a little bit, and I'm kind of in a sort of grungy-ish mood. So let's see if we can do some grunge here with this suite. So in the suite, as I said, is the stamp set, which you can see here. Mostly like sentiments, and then a couple of leaves and some, what is that called? Like background sort of stuff. And I know my stamp set is used because I let somebody borrow it, but I have not used it yet. And then we've got the cool dies as well. I love this leaf die particularly. So we'll definitely play with those. And then there's the hexagons. These, again, are the ones that are not available right now, but everything else is. You've got the Secret Sea, what do they call this? Open weave ribbon. I love Secret Sea. It's like my favorite color. And then Natural Hues 12 by 12 textured paper. This is kind of like the old school mulberry paper. Do you remember that stuff? Like back in the day? So I got 3 different shades of that natural hues color. And then this is my favorite part of this collection. Look at this paper. It's so, so pretty. So you've got, I think it's already turned. Yeah, so front and back. So 2 of each piece. It's just really pretty. Great for so many different like categories of card making and or scrapbooking. So I actually did some layouts with, I love this one too. I did some layouts with this, and I don't know if I don't think I have them handy. They're all packed for my store at the moment. But they're so, like, I love this piece, but I hate to cut it up because it's just so pretty. I think I actually might want to play with, although I kind of want to use, I was thinking I'd play with this one, actually. But I was also thinking I wanted to use the green leaf, too. So, we'll see. Let's play with this one, and then maybe, let's just see if there's something else that, like I said, I'm feeling a little grungy, so a little inky. Maybe this one. I don't know. Kind of like those together. Brightens it up a little bit. Yeah, let's maybe do those, and then, I don't know, I don't really like those three together, but maybe we could mix in a little of this one too. We'll see. So let's just, or maybe I'll use some of this in there, or this one. I don't know, I like the yellow. Maybe that one. I don't know, we'll leave that out. We'll leave this out. Let's see where we land. I know I want to use this one because that's my favorite. Oh, my birds are everywhere. Okay, so if you're watching live, go ahead and shout out where you're watching from. I'd love to know. And then I did pull some of the paper. So I was missing Pretty Peacock, which is such a pretty color, and I don't have that one. And what's funny is I thought this was Old Olive, and it's really not. So I think we'll have to do a white base. So we've got Old Olive, Pretty Peacock, which I'm missing, Cloud Cover, Secret Sea, Night of Navy, Pecan Pie, and then I always pull white. But let's just use this base because I have it here. I don't know if you guys can hear it, but my dog is in the room because she wanted to be in here, and she's snoring. So if you hear snoring, that's my little pup. She's so cute. You can tell she's getting older because, like, when we go for a walk now, when we get back, she, like, conks out for a little bit. So I'm thinking I kind of want the lighter shade a little bit because, like I said, I feel like I want to do some stamping and inking and blending and whatnot. So, and because I might pull in this crumb cake, I might do a matte of that. I might try and do like this part of it though. So what I'm going to do, so that I don't waste any parts of it, I'm going to cut this at 4. And we'll do 5 1/4. Actually, maybe I should do, oh, I should have done 3 inches and then 4, 4, 4. Well, we can still do that. So let's cut it at 4. We're going to do 4 by 4 squares for now. And then I can use that middle one, which will be kind of a mix of the dark and the light. So I'm going to put those here, and I'm going to use this one. Let's cut this at 3. So a little off that side and a little off this side. Okay, so we'll do a little 3 by 4 layer here. Okay, and I have really no direction as to what I'm doing. I'm just kind of playing here. Maybe I'll use that as the background. I kind of like that. What's funny is now I don't really know what color green to use because it's clearly a shade of, and it's funny, I don't think, let me see if I missed a color. I feel like that's not olive. It almost looks like garden green maybe. Hold on. It is. See, I was missing a color. I'm like, that's not the right color. All right, so let me grab some garden green. It was just too bright. There we go. Okay, so I think maybe we'll do this 3 1/4 by 4 1/4, which will give me, or actually I'm going to do 3 1/8 by 4 1/8. And that's just going to be a very thin mat for this, okay? And then I'm going to try and do this one at 4 by 5 1/4. Well, I'm not going to try. I'm going to. 4 by 5 1/4 for that. Okay. Let's put these over here. All right. Get those out of the way. And I'm thinking I will do this. And I definitely want to do a leaf with that die because it's so pretty. But I mean, we could do it out of that, but I don't think I'm going to use this piece. I may still use one of these. I feel like if I use this one, though, I should have done, well, I was going to say I should have done like vanilla as the base, but we could ink this up a little bit. So maybe, let me just set this one aside for a sec and grab our stamps. What did I do with them? Seriously, how did I lose them already? Oh, I put them over here. Okay. So I definitely want to cut something out with this one. I'm thinking in the garden green, and that will be kind of part of our focal point there. But I'm wondering, maybe we cut this out with this paper. That could be kind of cool. And then I'm wondering, oh, is that's this? No, that's that. Am I missing one? That's the dot. I don't know where that is. Oh, it's this. Okay. It kind of just adds texture. I think I'm going to do, because this almost looks like wood, so I think I'm going to do this one. So let's grab those two. I'm going to grab a piece of that garden green that I had left over somewhere. There it is. And I'm going to cut this out. I'm actually going to do it on the floor because I don't really have enough space on my desk, and I have my electric cutter out right now because I was cutting for class, so we'll just do that really quick. And then I'm going to take a piece of this. Hopefully you guys can all see me and hear me because it looks like people are watching, but there's no comments and no reactions. So that always makes me worry that Facebook isn't working right. But it looks like it's good on my end. So hopefully. All right, I'm going to cut. I might actually cut 2 of these. I don't know, I'm feeling like I need more than one. Just in case I mess up. Alright, so there's one. Oh, I can't get it off. So that's kind of cool, right? Let me cut one more. And then I think we'll be good for a minute. Okay. And we got 2. Like I said, I don't think I need to. I'm just going to cut 2 in case. Alright, so we've got that. We've got this. Look at this leaf. It's so pretty. Let me pop it out here with my take your pick tool. And we're going to just pop in here. If you guys are just joining me and you've never joined me before, welcome and thanks for joining me. I don't even think I introduced myself at the beginning. I got right into stamping because that's what we're all here for, right? But I'm Jen Bach. And I am on Cape Cod in Massachusetts. And look at how pretty. Just doing a little crafting for you today. Normally I go live during the day at 2 p.m. Eastern, but lately I've just found like it's been better to kind of keep my flow throughout the day and then wait till the end of the day to craft with you for fun. So we've got this and this. And I don't know, I might not need to, but I'm kind of thinking this might be the nest for my sentiment. But we'll see. But I want to kind of grunge it up a little bit. That's why I have 2, right? So I'm going to grab a blending brush. And I don't really have a brown one right now, which is kind of interesting. We'll use this one. What's really cool about the blending brushes is like once the ink is dried, like you can rinse them out and wash them, but like it's pretty much good to go. Where's my crumb cake ink? Actually, maybe we'll do pecan pie. Excuse me, I'm going to reach underneath here. All right, so let's see how inky this is. Not too inky. I don't want it super dark, so I'm going to kind of blot it off a little bit, and then we're just going to rub the ink over this. See how it's a little bit of color differentiation. I actually could go with it being a little bit darker. I kind of want it to be like wood grainy. I might even be able to go with like really espresso or something, but we'll just layer on the color. You can always add more color, you can't take it away. So let's just add some color to this. See, it doesn't look like there's much color on there, but then when you move the element, you can see all the ink that we've put on there. All right. Do that. And then, you know what would be good would be spritzing it, but I don't think I have any water in any of my spritzers. don't even know where my spritzers are, actually. They're over there somewhere, but I don't see them. All right, so you know what we can do instead? We'll do some splatter. All right, so that's got some good color to it. I might actually, I'm gonna blot some dark spots on it because I want it to kind of be kind of like wood, right? And you get dark little knots in wood. Here we go. Okay, and then we'll take our, what color should I do? We'll take the pecan pie. Got a little pecan pie. You gotta make sure you get all of your stuff out of the way though when you do this, because I don't want to get ink on anything else. So I'm gonna take my paintbrush end. These are the alcohol markers. And we're gonna just kind of flick some color on here. So I'm just kind of spritzing it. I told you I'm in a grungy kind of mood, so that's what we're gonna do. There we go. I like it. So let that dry for a second, which shouldn't take long, it's alcohol. But that also means that now I'm like, you know what, I want to grunge up this a little bit too. So let's use our scissors. I'm use my snips here, and I'm gonna grunge up the side of my cardstock. Just gonna take the edge and sort of drag it along the edge. We'll move this out of the way because this does make a mess. Drag it along the edge, and see this little scissor charm? It's actually a stamp that I stamped, and it's on Shrinky Dinks, and I shrunk it as a scissor charm for some of my attendees of one of my virtual, actually no, I think it was an in-person retreat. Maybe it was a virtual. I think it was a virtual retreat as one of the pillow gifts. So that's one of the things I love to do as part of my retreats, is to do little pillow gifts. And I'm excited to say I have an in-person retreat coming to you very soon. Well, the retreat is next year, 2027, but the registration will be coming very soon, and I'm super excited about it. So if you're interested in in-person retreats, definitely get on my mailing list so you'll know when registration happens. But just go to craftwhatmatters.com and then you can sign up for my list. All right, so now we have that grungy piece, and this, I probably should have made it a little bigger if I was going to grunge it, but that's okay. It kind of still fits, right? So we can go ahead and tape that down. Kind of shrinks the edges a little bit, so I probably should have left it a 1/4 inch, but I didn't realize I was going to want to do some grunging here. All right, so got that. Okay. All right. And then we're going to kind of put this on here, but I want to add more texture to this too. So let's take that same color and we'll use that texture element here and that pecan pie. Let's see if, I don't know if I want to do it full strength or if I want to stamp up. Yeah, I think maybe we'll do both. So we'll just stamp once and then stamp again without re-inking. Okay. Okay. There we go. And I'm just kind of winging it here. Doesn't have to be linear even. All right, so there's that. And then let's do some more grunge. This might make some of you a little crazy because I know some of you don't like it, but I'm gonna crumple this guy up. Let's roll it in a ball. And then we will unroll it. Oops, I just ripped it. Whoopsie. No worries. It's part of its charm, right? So actually, let's just do this. Let's just rip that right off. I want to make sure. I'm just going to cover that. I'm going to make it more in a diagonal line here. There we go. Okay. And then let's take this and we'll kind of ink the edges a little bit too. Okay. These are some really great techniques for like masculine cards too. I always want to add like all the bling, like all the ribbons and all the bling, and you know, most of the time it's not necessarily appropriate for a man card. I think it is, but you know, some people might not. But there, then we have kind of like a wrinkly little base here. And we've got this. I feel like I want something in the background here now. Let's look at our paper. Maybe that text paper. Yeah, maybe like the back side of this. So that could show on the other side. I think that would be good. Yeah, let's do that. I'll take a piece of this. And we're going to, we don't need a full piece. Probably just like maybe, let's do 3 just to make sure it goes all the way across. And we'll do, I feel like 3 by 3 would be more than enough. Probably do 3 by 2. Okay. And then that can just kind of get taped down in that corner. And then this would get lined up with that. Like that. Okay. I'm liking it. I'm liking it. All right. I do feel like I want some, after I just said that, I want some thread. So we're going to grab some linen thread. Oops. And we'll tie some thread somewhere. Let's go ahead and tape some of this down. I'm wondering, I think I want to tie it around this panel, actually. So I'm going to leave this plain. I thought about maybe grunging it up a little bit, but I think I'm going to leave it plain. We're just going to give like a little 1/4 of an inch here. Okay, and then let's tie some twine around the bottom of this here. And I don't know that I have any dimensionals here. Let's see. Like that. Where's the end? There it is. It's hard because I want it to be tight enough, but I don't want it to wrinkle up the paper at all either, any more than it is. So I'm gonna tie a little knot here on the side, and then we'll adjust once I get it attached. If I do want it all the way over on the side, and I'm thinking I might even do a bow, even though it's supposed to be grungy. I just want texture. All right, and then this will get taped here. I guess we'll use regular adhesive. I thought about maybe doing dimensionals, but it kind of has to be stretched out in order to meet those edges there. So let's just do this. I'm going to use a little extra because it's so wrinkly. I want to make sure it stays stuck when we get it stuck. Alright, so first, the most important thing is to make sure it kind of lines up with those two pieces so it doesn't look like it doesn't line up. Alright, there we go. And it's okay if it's a little bumpy there. Okay, and then I'll turn it on the side, and I'm going to tie a little bow like that. Okay, and then we can trim this. Oop, maybe. No, I should use my ribbon scissors because that's going to fray them. That's all right. There. Okay. And then this can go on top with some dimensionals. I definitely need my dimensionals. Hang on. We'll use these. These are paper pumpkin ones, but they'll work. They're a little thicker, but it's okay. We're going grungy, so. All right. Now, I'm going to just attach this to the card base. Whoop! Oh dear. I just flung it right across the desk and it landed on the stamp folder. All right, so let's go ahead and do this. Okay, and then we have that leaf. What did I do with it? I put it over here. I'm gonna grab my green blending brush. Again, I just have like a blending brush for each color, and I'm gonna do garden green with this, and we'll just kind of ink it up a little bit, give it some dimension. Oop, gotta be careful because it's kind of fragile, so you don't want to break it. I'm going with it, if that makes sense. Okay. There we go. Now I have that little grungy wood piece we did. And we have this. So I'm thinking this can go here. You don't want it to hang too much off the card because then it won't fit in your envelope. So I'm thinking like that. And then maybe tuck that under, I think. And then we could do a sentiment panel here of some sort. So let's go ahead and attach this. I'm going to use regular tape. I'm going to kind of let it overhang a little bit. Okay. And then this one we'll do with some liquid glue. Where does it kind of hang off? Well, I guess just that one little, just want to avoid that one little spot here. That one. So we'll put adhesive everywhere else. Just a little dab will do ya. You don't want to go too crazy with the glue because it holds really, really well, but it squirts out a lot if you have too much. So let's do that. And then it's a very strong adhesive though, so that's good. So we're going to put it right about there. It does take it a second to dry, so we'll just press down, let it get contact here. Okay, now we need a sentiment. There isn't any labels in this one. I do have my stylish shapes though right on my desk because I was using them for my card class to go. And they have some banners. Maybe we'll use one of these. Do I want to do To a Great Guy? That would fit in here. That would be good. Yeah, let's do that. So I'm going to cut up one of these. And we'll just do white cardstock. I can find a piece. I have to have a scrap piece of white somewhere. Let's see. There we go. Let me cut a piece. These are the Stylish Shapes dies. And again, I have my electric cutter out and running because I was cutting lots of birds earlier. So we'll just use the pecan pie because it's here. I have another block. You do, when you pick up a clear stamp, you want to put it face down on your table, and I'm actually lining it up on the grid sheet so it's straight on my block, and then pick it up with your block, and that way you won't distort it when you're attaching it to the block. It'll be the truest it is to be. I kind of go around the edges here a little bit, and then straight down, straight up. Perfect. And so I can kind of put that here. I like that. So I'm wondering if I want something else too. I feel like it needs a little more under here. Let me see. I might do a strip of this. What color should we do it? Maybe crumb cake? I don't have any crumb cake there. Let me grab a piece. And we'll do a little bit of that. All right. Whoops. I think, yeah, it just makes holes and it's crooked, but I can go ahead and cut it straight. So that die just kind of punches some holes in your cardstock. So let me see if I can get this to be semi-straight. It moved, but I can cut it so that it's somewhat straight. All right, so now we have this guy. And we'll punch out these holes. And I'm actually thinking I might actually even cut around it like this. And then I'm kind of cutting right around like the die mark. I just want it to be a little more rounded, less linear. There we go. Let me just trim that so it's not such a straight angle. Here we go. And then that can kind of go underneath, maybe. Yeah, I like that. I feel like I want a little bit of sponge splatter on it. There we go. And then we'll attach that. I might actually even, I'm gonna cut it in half and separate it out a little bit. So I'm gonna attach it to the back here, but I'm gonna like make it a little bit longer because you won't know that it's not really that long. I just want it to show a little bit more from underneath. Okay, like that. We'll put it up a little higher so we can see the wood still too. All right, and then I know I already did ribbon here, but I kind of feel like I want a little nest of twine underneath here too. So I'm gonna put a piece of there, and I'm going to tack that into the adhesive, and we'll just do some loops here. Oh, like that. He wants to go that way again. Maybe, maybe not. Let's go back up this way. Tack that, and then one this way. There we go. And then we'll put that here. Okay. And then we'll grab some dimensionals, put that here. Okay. And we'll add that here. Got a lot going on here. There we go. And then I think last but not least, I will just add some of these dots or these hexagons here. And we'll call it good. All right. I don't think I want big ones. Well, maybe we'll do one larger one there, and then a smaller one. And actually, you know what? I'm gonna do a larger one here too, and we'll kind of tuck it underneath there. There we go. This one is actually really fun to play with, especially getting all grungy here. So we did some tearing, we did some inking, we did some blending, we did some splattering, and there's our, we did some distressed edges. Somehow or other I got a piece of string under there. There we go. And there you have it. I like it. So you could put a sentiment inside too, but I'm gonna actually, I could put I love you lots, or I like you lots, because I could give that to Nate, but I don't know where I'll use it, so we'll just leave it like that for right now. And there you have it. I think it's kind of fun to get a little messy sometimes. So I thank you guys for watching. I hope it all, I don't know that any of you could actually see it because I can't see any comments or anything, but it looks like there's people watching. So I appreciate you being here. I love kind of stamping along with you each week. Next week I will be back again for another edition of Tuesday Throwdown. So if you have any questions, drop them in the chat. And of course, if you want to know about upcoming retreats or upcoming events, be sure to go to craftwhatmatters.com and sign up for the email list. And then I will see you next week. Thanks so much for joining me. Bye for now.